Imagine waking up in a world where everyone hates you. A world where your fate is already written in ink that refuses to fade. And according to that story, you are destined to suffer until your very last breath. This is exactly what happened to me. I stand here, inside this magnificent cathedral. Sunlight pours through the colorful stained glass windows, but all I can feel is the weight of their eyes on my back. At the altar, my white lace dress contrasts sharply with my long, vibrant red hair. Beside me stands a man of high noble standing, handsome, cold, and imposing. He doesn't look at me. He looks at the priest, as if this wedding is just another business transaction. The priest slowly raises his hand, his voice echoing against the high-arched ceilings. Priest, blessings upon this beautiful couple. Today, we witness a union forged by destiny itself. Protagonist. The guests lean in, watching me closely. They expect tears. They expect my hands to tremble or my gaze to be cast down in shame. But I don't look nervous at all. Instead, I am calm. Eerily calm. It's the look of someone who has already seen the end of the movie while everyone else is just watching the opening credits. But to understand how a girl labeled as trash ended up at the most prestigious altar in the kingdom, we need to go back to the very beginning. A few years earlier, the atmosphere was much darker. I was taken in by the powerful Duke and Duchess of Rudwick. For an ordinary orphan, this should have been a dream come true. You'd imagine soft beds, elegant dresses, and the kind of education that opens doors to royalty. But reality was a cold wake-up call. Instead of kindness, I received glares that could draw blood. Instead of love, I faced a systematic, endless humiliation. Servant. Look at her, eating like she belongs here. Why did the Duke bring such a stray into this mansion? She doesn't have a drop of noble blood in her veins. Protagonist. Even the servants felt comfortable mocking me to my face. They would accidentally spill cold water on my dresses, or leave my room unheated in the dead of winter. The nobles treated me like a stain on a white carpet, something to be removed or ignored. Every single day, I was reminded that I was nothing more than an outsider. A placeholder. A shadow. I used to cry. I used to wonder what I did wrong. I thought if I worked harder, if I was quieter, if I was perfect, they would finally look at me with something other than disgust. But I was wrong. In their eyes, my existence was the crime. Then, on a day just like any other, something impossible happened. I collapsed with a fever, and when I opened my eyes, the world looked different. Memories that didn't belong to this life flooded my mind like a broken dam. I remember this story. The Duke, the Duchess, the cold-hearted hero. I've read this all before. This world isn't just a world. It's a novel. And I'm the pitiful side character who gets used as a political pawn and dies alone in a tower. The realization was like a lightning bolt. I had been reincarnated into the very book I once read to pass the time. And even worse, I knew my role was designed for tragedy. My future was already written in a script I never signed up for. But this time, things are different, because now, I have the one thing no one else in this mansion possesses: the script. Pause. But before we see how I turn the tables on these arrogant nobles, if you enjoy manhwa recap videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really helps the channel grow, and lets us bring you more of these stories about destiny and revenge. Done? Great. Let's get back to the plot. Now that I know the future, I've stopped crying. I've stopped trying to be good. I've begun to think with the cold precision of a grandmaster playing chess. If I follow the original story, the Duke will sell me off to a monster. If I stay quiet, I'll disappear. But I know the secrets hidden in these walls. I know which servant is stealing from the pantry. I know which noble is plotting a coup. And I know exactly when the hero is going to fall into a trap. Knowledge isn't just power, it's my survival. I have begun to change. It's subtle at first. A sharper look in my eye. A witty comeback that leaves a duchess speechless. I start observing every detail. I watch the way the Duke taps his fingers when he's lying. I notice the hidden letters delivered to the back gate at midnight. I realize that the perfect noble world is actually built on a foundation of rotting secrets. And I am going to use every single one of them as a weapon. They think I'm a bird in a cage. They don't realize I'm the one who holds the key. This time, I'm not playing the victim. I'm playing the lead. But fate is a stubborn thing. Even with my knowledge, the noble world is a minefield of dangerous politics and powerful enemies who don't like it when their pawns start talking back. Every step I take to change the future creates a ripple effect, changing the story in ways even I can't predict. Which brings us back to this grand cathedral. The bells are ringing, and the entire high society is holding its breath. How did the girl who was once bullied by servants end up standing here, commanding the attention of the entire kingdom? Is this marriage my ultimate victory, a way to secure my safety forever? Or have I walked right into a trap that wasn't in the original book? As I look at the man beside me, I lean in and whisper something only he can hear. The man's eyes widen in shock, but me? I just smile. And that's where this chapter ends. The game has officially begun, and the rules of the novel have been shattered. If you want to know what I whispered and how I plan to take down the House of Rudwick, comment part 2 inches below so I know you're ready for the next recap. Don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment with your theories, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next chapter. I'll see you in the next one.